What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Cocktail Countdown. Today we arrive at episode number 17. We will be looking at the top 50 most popular drinks according to Drinks International, and today we arrived, as I said, at episode number 17, which is going to be the Clover Club. This is one that Uncle Bob definitely has something to say about, so we'll throw it over to him in a bit. But yeah, so Uncle Bob will go over the history first, then afterwards I'll show you how to make it, and I'll taste it for you guys. It's always the hardest part, but happy to do it for you guys. Let's first go over to Uncle Bob.
So, the Clover Club, dating back to the early 1900s, was named after the Gentlemen's Club, which was residing in the Bellevue Stratford Hotel. This cocktail first originated in Philadelphia, was made popular and then not so popular by the community of men in tight leather trousers. The first written mention was in J.A. Grohuscu's Jack's Manual, which actually names it the clover leaf. The leaf in this name comes from the mint sprig that they used to garnish it. There were definitely multiple variants and recipes over the years. These recipes featured a sometimes rather copious amount of vermouth, a martini extra dry actually, which was made fun of by Charles Brown in 1939, who was a cocktail author himself and well respected for that reason. Which actually made the cocktail decline rapidly in popularity. Because more and more people are getting into the cocktail scene, and the sweeter drinks are taking the overhand for the starters in the cocktail world, it is back on its rightful place on the list, and has definitely grown in popularity over the last year as more and more people tend to just really like these drinks. I think it is actually time now to get back behind the bar with Koen and make sure you enjoy the Clover Club.
Welcome back, guys. I hope you enjoyed story time with Uncle Bob. Now it's time for me to take over and make you guys the Clover Club. So we will be shaking this cocktail. So obviously first we're gonna need our shaker. I'll start off with some egg. This is just a fresh egg that you buy at the supermarket. Always better to have the freshest possible eggs. If you can get them from a farmer, even better. But also, you don't necessarily want to have them pasteurized because they just tend to not foam up as well. So that's why I always try to use as fresh of an egg as possible. So we'll separate that one. Make sure we have only the egg white in here. And then for the actual main component, we will be using Tanqueray gin, which is a London dry gin. This is probably one of the most popular ones. Also, gins you could possibly use are Bombay Sapphire. There is what else do we have? We have the Gordon's gin is also pretty popular in that way. So you can use a multitude of gins here. Definitely try to get a London dry gin because they just tend to work the best with these cocktails. We're gonna be using 2 ounces. Again, obviously this is my recipe as I like to make it. That doesn't mean it's the only recipe out there. There is recipes as well that have a buttload of vermouth in there. I personally wouldn't really do that, but that's always up to whoever is making the cocktail, obviously. Tag along if you want to try this one out. As usual, we'll cool the glass in the meantime, and then we're on to our third ingredient, which is going to be our freshly squeezed lemon juice. We're just going to be adding 1 ounce of this, or 30 milliliters. Should be all good. There we go, 30 milliliters done. And then I have raspberry syrup. You can even make your own syrup. You can find whatever syrups at wholesalers, or maybe even some at your local supermarkets or specialty shops. But this is the one I'm gonna be using. And again, I'm gonna be using 1 ounce or 30 milliliters. And for me, that's already done. There is some recipes that ask for sugar. But again, as I said in a couple of other episodes, especially the one with the espresso martini, once you start adding sugar to something that's already pretty sweet, I think it might be a little bit overkill sometimes. So that's why I chose not to use sugar in this. So we'll just get started with this one. And we're gonna be doing a reverse dry shake. So that means we're gonna first shake everything with ice. Afterwards, we're gonna shake without ice, just to make sure that we get that nice foamy layer on top. So again, add our ice and give it a good shake. Okay. Already see a little bit of that foam coming out. Nope, I need this one. And we're just gonna separate our cocktail from the ice, since we just want to aerate that egg white a little bit more. Get rid of the ice there, and then give it another shake. Whereas the normal shake is a little bit more impressive, this one is definitely not. People won't turn their heads for this one as well. But still, that doesn't make it any less important. Because if we did it right, we got a nice foamy layer on top. So let's have a look if we manage to do that. So I'm gonna be double straining this one, just to make sure that we don't get those little pieces of ice that are still in there. So we get a nice cocktail that has no ice in it if there's not meant to be any ice in it. As a garnish, we're going to be using fresh raspberries, because it always just looks a little bit nicer on top of our cocktail. I'm using 3 because I'm just a little bit more extravagant like that. You can use as many as you want. If you can put on 4, go for 4. This one's actually a little bit broken. Okay, and there we have it, guys. That's our Clover Club. Again, nice and easy, but a great cocktail for sure. On to the hardest part, I guess. Let's taste this one. Again, this one is good for everyone that has a mustache. Can save a little bit for later. But yeah, this is definitely on the sweeter side. It's nice enough that it's not overly sweet. I think the balance is just about right, but as I said before, I think if you'd add a little bit of sugar, even if it's only 5 milliliters or whatever, you're already just taking it over a little bit too much, and it just becomes one big ball of sweetness. And I think that's not what it's meant to be, because the base layer is just so good. I guess this is also why it's still pretty high up on the list. I mean, we're not even halfway there yet, so yeah, this just tends to do really well overall. And yeah, I think it's just a great cocktail, because we had a lot of cocktails that were a little bit more manly, like more alcoholic, full-on alcoholic drinks, and this is definitely something for the ladies out there as well that just want to try something different. This is definitely a good option for that one. Yeah, and I think that's all I have to say about the Clover Club here today. Thank you guys for being here as every week. Thanks for showing up. Apart from that, please make sure to drop a like on this video. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you love what we're doing, and make sure to hang around to see what videos I have in store for you guys. But for now, guess I'll see you guys next week. Ciao.